What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Steve Nasentowski here of Mason Brew, bringing you episode 20 of Freshman Feature for the class of 2021. You guys know the deal: school stats, recruitment projection, everything you need to know about the true freshman for Michigan football heading into the 2021 season. Previous episode will be in the description below, as well as the playlist, so check that out. We're only a couple episodes away from being complete with this recruiting class, so let's dive into the episode without further ado. 3-star edge prospect out of Massachusetts, TJ Guy. For his high school, he went to Mansfield High School in Mansfield, Massachusetts. He was a 2-year captain, 11-1 record, and a D2 state title as a junior in 2019. He played as both offensive tackle and defensive end. He only started playing football in high school, so he is still a little bit raw and early in his career as a football player. He was an all-scholastic honoree. That'll be something that comes up in his scouting report. He's a high academic guy. He also lettered in basketball, so another multi-sport athlete here. He played both power forward and center on a pretty solid program in the state of Massachusetts for basketball as well. Moving on to his stats here. As a junior, 2019, 43 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. That's all we got. No other stats I could find. For his metrics, all we have here, 6'4", 240. So he brings pretty good height at 6'4". At 240, you can still see to add a few pounds there as defensive end, but there's a lot of questions. Will he be an edge? Will he be the end? Will he move to the interior? He's kind of got that frame where he can be any one of those things depending on how much good weight he can actually put onto that frame that he has. Moving quickly here into his rankings, Rivals, ESPN 24/7, they all have him as a 3-star. 24/7, the most bullish on him. They have him within their top 40 edge prospects, number 5 in Massachusetts. ESPN still treats him as a defensive end, 106 overall there amongst defensive ends, and number 9 in the state of Massachusetts. Rivals also has him as a defensive end, strong side defensive end to be exact, number 7 in Massachusetts. That brings his composite within the top 1,000 at 933.50 as an edge prospect and 6 in the state of Massachusetts. Looking at his offers here, what you would expect kind of as a middle-of-the-road 3-star, some regional talent there. He had Boston College. He was committed there initially. He had some Syracuse interest early on in his recruitment as well. Pitt and Michigan came calling in the winter of 2019. Also had offers from Nebraska, Virginia, and UConn. So he's got some bigger programs there in Nebraska, Michigan, and then some secondary ones with like Pitt, Virginia. He did have interest from Notre Dame, it seems, with a visit planned. That fell through, as did a lot of other visits that he had planned because of COVID-19. Looking at his recruitment, pretty quick recruitment here. He was a BC commit, as I mentioned, Boston College, in December 2019. He received a Pitt offer around that same time. He decommitted in February of 2020 after receiving his Michigan Wolverine offer, and then eventually committed to the Wolverines in April of 2020, being out of Don Brown territory. Obviously, that was a big factor in his recruitment there, as well as academics. He didn't have a chance to visit due to COVID, but he's still with the program, obviously, despite not having that visit and Don Brown going over to Arizona now. So he's able to stick with that. Looking at his scouting here. So athletic guy. That comes up quite a bit. He plays fast, disruptive at the point of attack. Solid body control, able to change his direction well. So his lateral quickness is seemingly there. Ability to chase down plays from behind. So he has good straight line speed, tackles well in space. He does have a pretty good swim move. Rarely loses leverage battles, ability to go inside from the edge. So despite being a defensive end, he's definitely more of an interior worker with his skill set than a true pass rusher around the edge. Some improvements. Has to work on his hand technique, still a little raw in that area. He does have to add some more weight, again, with that 6'4" frame. He can put on some pounds there to be more effective on the defensive line. There's some questions about his overall motor and effort. Sometimes people think he's taking plays off, so something to watch moving forward. And then there's some disagreements about his bend on pass rush, right? That's really important as an edge recruit, as he is to 24/7 Sports. There's a lot of disagreements about whether he truly has that bend on the pass rush. I don't think it's necessarily his best attribute. I think if he can bulk up and move inside, that's where his best potential is. So I think he's currently an edge just because of his size, but he can grow a bit and be more of a traditional defensive end and even move into a 5-tech, 3-tech type role down the line. So moving into his film, as always, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight, Wednesday. We'll go through a live stream, watch all things on TJ Guy, his film, go through any questions you guys have as well. So come hang out. That's right here on this channel. I'll be there. So for his comp, Chris Wormley, I think is a really good comp. He was a 4-star, 127 nationally ranked player out of Toledo, Ohio. He was number 6 strong side defensive end in the class, number 7 out of the state of Ohio. So obviously different end of the spectrum there, right? TJ Guy just inside the top 1,000, Chris Wormley inside the top 150. He was similarly sized, 6'4", 6'5", 250 out of high school, so just a little bit bigger. Lots of suggestions on him outgrowing the position of defensive end, that he could be someone who could contribute on the interior down the line in his career, but solid tackler, solid pass rusher, quickness off the ball was solid, good athleticism overall, able to attack the shoulder, had varied attacks on the interior there. He was seen more as a pocket closing defensive end or a defensive tackle with solid penetration potential there. And a high academic guy. So a lot of those things are kind of similar to TJ Guy. There is also some questions about the motor of Chris Wormley. So even the maybe areas of improvement or question marks about the players for both Wormley and Guy are similar here. But positional versatility, overall solid athletes for both of those recruits at the time. Quickness off the ball, and obviously a good frame to work with. So for Chris Wormley, mainly a Michigan OSU battle there. Shocking lack of offers there for Wormley, but obviously turned into a really solid strong side defensive end for the Wolverines. He broke out kind of as a redshirt sophomore, starting half the games, and then lots of production in his upperclassman years as a redshirt junior and fifth year. He became a second-team All-American in 2016, 2-time All-Big Ten honoree, and a 3rd-round pick to the Baltimore Ravens. So for projection here for TJ Guy, I think Chris Wormley would be the absolute ceiling for TJ Guy. I personally would be doubtful. I think if he's going to get drafted, it would be towards the latter end of the draft for TJ Guy. There's also a ton of bodies ahead of him right now in kind of strong side defensive end shaped people. You have Taylor Upshaw, you got Welshoff, Ojibo, Morris, Newberg, McGregor, Harrell, Lewis, Jenkins, and those are all guys ahead of him right now, not anyone I mentioned from the 2021 class as well. So plenty of room for flexibility in a 3-4 on guys who can be an edge, guys who can rotate to the inside, those who are a true defensive end. So in a 3-4, there's lots of room for those bodies to kind of move all over the defense. But even with that, I think it's going to be a couple years. I'd be shocked if we heard his name emerge before 2023. He could be a rotational guy at that point, but I think if he's going to emerge, it'll be as an upperclassman. So I think redshirt year this year, see what he grows into. Will he be able to refine those pass rush skills along the edge, or will he be able to bulk up, move to the interior? I would like to see him bulk up around 280, 285, give him some flexibility as an inside first defensive end, and I think that's where his upside, as I said earlier, truly is. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think about TJ Guy's skill set? Again, tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Come hang out, watch his film. I'll answer any questions and discuss his game with you guys. And we got a couple more episodes. So watch next week and the week after. We should be wrapping up this series. Check out the playlist for all other episodes. Finally, like and subscribe if you haven't already. Really helps the channel. Let's get it to 4,000 subscribers. We're close. All right, guys. Beyond that, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Stay safe out there. And as always, go blue.